Joining us now on Middays with Thunder Andrew, friend of show from CBS 58. He is Scott Grodsky. Scott, welcome in.
Friend to show, not friend to Drew, and I was not told he was going to be on.
Enemy of Wagner.
Yes.
Yeah, this is. I want to renegotiate my contract.
Are we just going straight Jaguars Bengals? Like I'll get out of the way. Ding ding.
No, I watched it. I don't need any more of it.
Scott, we said this morning on the show at Mason, like most people, they will spend the afternoon trash talking the other person's team, and we basically spent the game trash talking our own team, arguing over which one was worse.
Yeah, I mean, it was only a matter of time before the Jaguars blew it. So, yeah, it was. It's nice. I get to watch like 2 games a year, so it was fun to have that be one of them.
Yeah. So, Scott, I had no idea you were a Jags guy, because the Jags are my clear number 3 team in the NFL. My sister and brother-in-law and nephew.
Why do you have 3 teams?
Well, I have 2 teams for everything because I'm a sports polygamist. I was born and raised outside of Boston.
Sports gets a friend.
Yes. Yep. And I've lived in Milwaukee for 35 years. So
okay.
I'm everything Milwaukee and Boston, which like I've been on the air for over 20 years in this market. I think most people know that by now. Like when I see fans, like they know that I have Red Sox gear and Patriots gear. I also have Brewers gear and obviously Bucks.
2 wasn't enough. You just needed a 3rd.
Well, you know, when you marry into a family, you end up sometimes adopting some of their teams too, especially if there's no real conflict. Like my wife was a Colts fan when we were together because of Peyton Manning, because she grew up outside of Knoxville.
Okay.
Now, I was never going to adopt the Colts because I was a Patriots fan and I hated the Colts. But when my sister-in-law and brother-in-law moved to Jacksonville, like there's no reason. Like there was one year that the Jaguars are still mad that they say the Patriots, there was a ball blown dead on a turnover in a playoff game. That
in a playoff game, it was in an AFC championship game.
Nobody really remembers the details, Scott.
It was an AFC championship game. It was Miles Jack, and the Jaguars should have made the Super Bowl.
Yes, that may or may not
no one
be
remembers
true.
the details, though.
Right. So that's how. So like, I'm not a hardcore Jags fan by any measure, but like the Jags are a team I like to watch and keep an eye on and cheer that they do well. Although I will say to Drew, not a team that I like necessarily, the Bengals. One of my very good high school friends is like their director of ticket sales. So he is
Barry?
Yeah.
Barry Katz.
Yes. Of course.
Oh, Barry
and I went to high school together.
We gotta send the message to Barry.
Yeah. He is not happy today because obviously with the quarterback situation there. That's enough Bengals Jags talk. Scott, welcome on in. What was it like for you on a Sunday? Were you on Brewers duty or did you actually get to enjoy some Red Zone channel, walk the dog? What did you get to do on the Sunday with no Packers?
Yeah, no, it was off. I was off, so I was watching football, and I was with Finley, who's hiding behind me because she heard Wagner's voice. So.
Yep, that makes sense. Oh, hey, Finley. Oh, my gosh. Is Finley the cutest? Oh.
Good girl, but she didn't really like Wagner, so. It was great to have an actual Sunday off.
So what'd you learn yesterday? The poll question we've got up right now is who's worse, JJ McCarthy or Caleb Williams? Do you have
Williams, but Caleb Williams, he's had a year, but it's not. We'll see in a year. It's right. It was a bad. I watched both those games. They were rough to look at. Caleb Williams. We heard enough on the offseason.
What is he missing? Like what isn't there with Caleb Williams?
The ability to throw the ball after 2 seconds instead of 20.
Okay.
Yeah, he just all the things that we had heard were going to be better with Ben Johnson, and it's 2 games. It's not
right.
It's 2 games and it's year 2. Neither of these guys are done. Neither of these guys are for sure busts. But the stuff that Caleb Williams was supposed to have improved on, it hasn't been there through 2 games, other than the scripted series to start each game, which both looked good. But
can they just start scripting the whole game?
I don't think you can do that, but they can try. It can't hurt at this point.
With him, they might need to, right? Like with
to me, the Caleb Williams, the one interception when he did buy 15 seconds in the pocket and then was running away to his right and threw 15 yards past a receiver to a diving lion. That was emblematic or symbolic or whatever of everything that he needs to fix. There were like 4 bad decisions there and then a bad throw. So he obviously has the tools. You don't go first overall without having the tools. But that was a hard game to watch if you're looking at Caleb Williams as a number 1 pick caliber type quarterback. And then JJ McCarthy, I mean, he's had 7 bad quarters and 1 very good one. It's also the first 8 quarters of his career, so I'm not ready to bury him yet. But no, he did not look good either.
On the flip side, our Green Bay Packers are looking very good, and they played Thursday night, and they don't play again till Sunday. But what impressed you the most with what the Packers were able to do against the Commanders Thursday night?
It's a good question. I mean, it was such a thorough across the board beatdown. I don't know that there was any one specific thing. I think seeing Keyshawn Nixon play as well as he did after wanting to be CB1 and talking about being CB1, I think that's a very important thing for the Packers to have that. That's probably the biggest question on their defense, at least, is whether or not they have the horses at cornerback to stick around with a really potent offense. So that was probably the best sign for me, but I don't. It's really hard to say. There's only one good thing. They looked great. They looked great across the board. Love obviously missed a couple of deep balls, but Matthew Golden did get separation on some of those too. I mean, it's. I don't know that you're gonna realistically be looking for anything better week 2 of the season.
Scott, even though I think your opinions are rubbish.
Can we have Thunder ask the questions?
Yeah, that's fine. Get it in writing next time. What have you seen from these 2 games that makes you believe that this is not just 2 good games to start the season? That what they're doing is, to use a term that people always use with the Brewers, what do you see that they're doing that's sustainable, that it's going to lead to success throughout the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's they're playing complementary football across the board. They're not really making mistakes, and it's not like they don't look like they're not winning right now because they're hitting a bunch of fluke plays and just riding that momentum. They're winning right now because they're just flat out better than the teams they're playing. And eventually, I'm sure there will be a 2-game, 3-game losing streak or whatever. It's going to happen, but it's not. Like the Vikings won week 1 because they had a team fall apart and had some fluke plays in the fourth quarter against the Bears. There was no part of this that was a fluke that the Packers won by. They dominated both teams. Again, against the Commanders, if they would have actually hit on a couple of those deep balls, the one that Reed got hurt on, that was called back, a couple of the golden ones, they could have beaten the Commanders by 35, closer than they were to losing to them. So I think the ability to dominate without having these sensational or fluky plays, that's what gives me faith or confidence that this is a very real good team and not just a good start.
Scott Grodsky, CBS 58, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. How do they make sure they focus on this Sunday's game? The Cowboys game isn't a big matchup in terms of like against a quality opponent, but it's obviously going to be an emotional game for Micah Parsons and for everybody on the Dallas side. How do you, knowing that Cleveland just got whooped by Baltimore and who knows what's going to happen at quarterback already there, how do you make sure you stay focused for this game this week?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. It's LaFleur always loves his coaching cliches, and one day at a time, 1 week at a time, all of that is one of them. So I'm sure he'll be reminding them of that and hope that it works. But I mean, I'm already looking past that game. It's not like Dallas is obviously a much bigger game, even though they're not that good, and it also Cleveland's terrible.
Yeah.
Everything I just said about the Packers have
as a team and as a city.
Yeah. They've a defensive end, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I as someone looking at the Packers, hopefully they don't overlook them. Hopefully they do put them away, and they put them away in the first quarter like they should. But I would not be surprised if some of the guys, especially some of the younger guys on the team, maybe do overlook it a little bit because they know, as good as they are, they don't have to play 4 full quarters to beat Cleveland. They got to play 1 and coast. And that's going to be the last thing in the world that Matt LaFleur wants them to hear. And it's going to be the last thing in the world Matt LaFleur will be saying to them. But I don't know how you can look at those 2 teams and think, oh yeah, this is one we really got to get up for.
Scott Grodsky joining us here on Middays with Thunder on the Fan. Scott, did you get a chance to watch any of the Badger game on Saturday?
Yeah, not the whole game. There really wasn't a reason to watch the whole game.
Same.
That would be considered abuse if you watched the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, Saturday I was working, so I was in studio for some of it. But yeah, that was everything that Badgers fans were scared it was going to be.
Right. Well, you say that, Scott, but I think it could have been way worse. I mean, I think Alabama did not, go full throttle on them. I think they could have easily won by 2 more touchdowns if they really took it out on them. I think it was. I don't think the Badgers. I think in terms of like my expectations for the Badgers, it like immediately met expectations. That is exactly what I expected to happen.
Yeah,
I think it could have been worse.
Yeah, I think
that game for me was I thought that game was an 11 a.m. kick.
Which was?
I got up. I thought the game was a 7 p.m. kick. Excuse me.
You thought it was a
So I got up, went to the gym, went and ran all my errands, got to the ballpark at 3 o'clock, figured I'd watch the game on my iPad. And then someone was talking about the Badger game. Like, yeah, what time is that kick tonight? They're like, it's over. They lost. So I was spared from having to watch it.
That sounds wonderful.
I was spared because that is.
You hear that though, Thunder? We got a nice little flex there. Wagner goes to the gym.
Yeah, good.
It's important that everyone knows that.
No big deal.
Yoga.
You just got to know.
Hot yoga or regular yoga?
They have these like heat panels in there, but I sit between them. I don't need that. I get sweaty enough as it is.
That's great. Nice. Good share. Scott, with the Badgers meeting expectations. I mean, I think that the conversation we've had this year is like, can their record be terrible? Can they just be a terrible football team, but actually be any better than they were last year? Like, because I don't know. Like what are we supposed to think about this team?
Yeah, I don't know. It's in a time right now where pretty much every sports team in Wisconsin is very exciting and very good. Mm-hmm. I find myself not even really thinking about them that much because honestly, do I care if they go 4-8 or 5-7? Is there a difference between 3-9 and 5-7? No. If they go 6-6 and do make their way into a bowl game that happens on December 18th, I don't know. I feel like there's so much excitement about what could happen with so many teams in the state of Wisconsin right now that really for the Badgers, until they win one and, win one not against a directional, it's just, it's okay. I'll find something else to do on Saturday.
Is it almost like, should the Badgers be sending flowers and thank you notes to the Packers and Brewers right now?
A little bit,
because we're not as focused. I mean, we should be irate.
Yeah.
Like we should be full on. We just had from 94 until 5 years ago. Like we had bowl game every year.
Nope.
Like, maybe.
But the one thing they didn't have was a championship. And that I think does take away. I think there was complacency involved. It was too much to expect them to take that jump to the next level.
So then what do we do if they decide not to be complacent and they make lots of changes and they were the wrong changes?
Then you got to do it again.
You got to do it again.
You can't hesitate because the longer you hesitate, look at Wisconsin before Barry got there. They tried this, that, or the other thing. This is why we should have had Tommy Oates call us in today.
Yeah.
Like he made the great analogy. This is Don Morton level bad.
Yeah.
Like it is. There's no identity. There's no
indescribable.
Hope. Right. They tried to redo it every couple of years, and they waited too long every time they did it. They finally got it right and stuck with it. You're 3 years in now with Fickle. If he doesn't get it done this year, you got to pull the plug.
So we know that about Fickle, but at some point, is McIntosh in trouble?
I think he should be.
I don't know. I don't
think he is yet, though. I don't think he is.
I don't think he should be. Whether he is or not, I don't know. To me, he's done a pretty good job with everything else except for men's hockey and football right now. And I think when he's done as well as he has with the other sports, that gives him a second coaching hire. If the second coaching hire is bad, then that's a problem.
Yeah, but football is what drives everything for a college athletics program. So
I know, and that's why I'm saying he gets 2 and not an unlimited
Well, the other
bucket,
thing that gets lost is he and Barry before him have completely botched what was becoming a fairly dominant women's basketball program. Let's face it,
I don't know that I go that far.
They were getting,
but I'd say competitive.
They were getting pretty good there in the 90s.
No, I was.
They had those games against Tennessee at the Fieldhouse.
They did. I remember being at an NIT game against Florida. Yep. Like they were in the postseason. They weren't making the NCAA tournament yet, but it looked like they were turning things around.
And with the quality of that talent in the state of Wisconsin, that you cannot. I think the biggest mistake hiring that Mac has done after Fickle is this year when he hired the new women's basketball coach.
Missouri.
When you let Brad Fisher, who's up at UW Oshkosh, who is one of the best coaches in the game at any level, and he gets a cursory interview and that's it. And then you go to someone who's had barely any success,
right?
Instead of going to someone that knows every high school coach in the state, is well regarded, can keep state recruits in here. Just as important as Greg Gard is in the men's basketball program, you have got to do that with your women's program.
I think, and Scott, I think Drew brings up a good point. I think women's basketball is going to be tested over the next couple of years, and that's going to be because of the rise nationally in the popularity of women's basketball. I think people are going to be watching that too. I mean, we know how good women's hockey's been. We know how good women's volleyball has been. But I think there's going to be a louder and louder voice. Certainly football rules all. No doubt about it.
No, I agree with you. I think women's basketball has gotten a pass for the last 15, 20 years because everything else has been good and it hasn't really been watched that much. But you're right. And I think we'll see how this coaching hire goes. I agree with everything that Wagner just said.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay?
Whoa. Charlie,
Scott?
Save the tape. Save the tape. Finley, you feeling okay? Just making sure Finley's doing it.
Is there a carbon monoxide leak in Scott's apartment?
Finley, you are living. If I could lie down on the couch right now, that'd be amazing. I want Finley's life right now.
Scott, I miss catching you. That was the best.
Scott, do you pitch?
Yeah,
you the pitcher?
It's slow pitch softball, so it's
I know what it is.
Stress.
All right. Well, I keep telling Drew, if you ever need a shortstop,
we always need a shortstop and most other positions.
Yeah, call me 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I can still do it a little bit. Not quite what I was, but and to our Milwaukee Brewers, the Brewers still with the best record in Major League Baseball. If they go 6-6 the rest of the way, Philly has to go 9-3 to win the National League. If the Brewers go 6-6 the rest of the way, the Cubs have to go 12-1 to steal the NL Central. I feel, definitely with the NL Central, I feel pretty good. We have another injury with Jose Quintana. Over the next 12 games, is it just health? Like, do you just need to stay healthy? Do you have to get hot? Do you want to see Churio get a little, start doing something? Or
I don't know. I wouldn't mind.
Healthy?
Yeah, health is the important thing. I wouldn't mind seeing them win a couple games towards the end, but they're going to have a little time off anyway. I don't know that momentum is really going to carry through all of it. Honestly, if they go 6-6 and the Phillies pass them, that doesn't really bother me. I don't want to see the Cubs in the second round or first round for the Brewers. Right. I think I think they're better than the Cubs, but I think there's a whole lot of downside to losing that series and not that much that you gain from winning it. So I will not lose sleep if they fall to the 2 seed. And I was here in 2018. Home field matters. It's not like it's not this end all be all that in Game 7 against the Dodgers was just, oh nope, they're home, they win. So I'm not going to lose sleep over that. I think the injury thing is by far the most important, especially given that the last month or so it really hasn't gone great on the injury front.
I think I'd feel better about the Brewers' chances against the Cubs in a 7-game series compared to a 5-game series.
Sure.
There's a little bit more room for error. The Cubs have played the Brewers very good this year.
Yeah.
You can adjust your pitching accordingly. You don't have a lot of room for a bad day when you're playing a short series.
So are you guys saying you'd rather play the Dodgers than the Cubs in that 5-game series?
I don't have a preference. I told you my preference already. It's either way, either the Cubs or Reds in the 1-3, with both of them winning the first round series. So I can drive to either Chicago or Cincinnati for the first round, drive to Chicago or Cincinnati for the championship round.
Cincinnati's not
drive to Detroit for the World Series.
You can drive to Phoenix. You can drive to Phoenix, bro.
I am next year. Yeah.
All right. Not. I mean, for if they play Arizona in the playoffs, you driving to Arizona.
No, that's why I have my ideal plan.
I know you do.
Attention.
No. I paid attention. It's just not going to happen. I've already eliminated Cincinnati. Cincinnati's not in.
Scott, let's just get rid of Thunder and finish the show.
Wow. All right. I'll go home. I'm good. You guys are good? It's good till 2?
The FCC may have a few things to say.
That's fair. So 12 games left. I think, the 3 against the Angels, and then they go out west. And I think you're right. I mean, I think you want to get healthy. You want to get the pitching staff healthy. Just get to the end of this.
Yep.
And it, we said it last week, get to the end of it with no more injuries. And then Quintana gets hurt. Like, no, how about now? No more injuries. Like, don't get somebody hurt tomorrow. Don't get somebody hurt Wednesday. Like, let's get to the end of this with no more injuries and get McGill back, get Mears back, get whoever else is, if Gasser's coming up or whatever's going to happen there. Let's just get to the end of this and be healthy. And whether it's the 1 seed against the winner of Cubs and Padres or the 2 seed against the winner of Dodgers and Mets, however it plays out, you play who's in front of you. Finley, what do you think?
She wanted a screenshot, so she just got one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Like, to me, the reason I don't want to see the Cubs is just dealing with it if the Brewers lose to the Cubs.
None of us want that, Scott. We agree. Yeah. None of us want that.
But I mean, I agree with you. I would rather, on paper, be playing the Cubs and the Dodgers. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, we've seen it enough with the Brewers in the playoffs. If you're going to make the run that everyone wants the Brewers to make, and the run that everyone thinks this Brewers team is capable of, you're not going to get 3 byes in the playoffs. You're going to have to play good teams at some point, whether it is the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Cubs, if they can get their stuff together, which really they haven't been that bad anyway. The Brewers are just so good that the Cubs look worse.
And the encouraging thing is the Brewers have played all of those teams incredibly well.
Yeah.
You're 4-2 against the Phillies. You're 6-0 against the Dodgers. The only team that they don't have a winning record against is the Cubs, and then the Padres, and they still have 3 more.
Cubs is only 5-4.
6 and 7. 6 and 7.
Yeah, 6 and 7. Yeah.
So you've got those 3 against San Diego next streak. If you take 2 of those, all right, you split the season series. So I mean, they're in good shape. I think you feel good about whoever they play in there just based on what they've done. But it all comes down to, can you take care of your own business?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Scott, what are you working on these days?
Today I'm gonna be. What's up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Today I'm back in studio, so you will see me on tonight at 9 on WMLW, 10, so 10:20ish on CBS 58. Tomorrow going to be trying to get some Brewer stuff together. We're trying to get some stuff ready for when there is the playoff run, because clearly that's whether it's a long playoff run or a short one. Obviously, there's going to be something. So trying to get some stuff set for that, and then we got to start getting ready for the Bucks.
Now, is that channel that you work on, is that available over like standard airwaves, or do you have to go like a special illegal streaming link to watch it?
CBS. It's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, channel 58.
Oh, so it's a real station.
Yeah, it's a real
television
station on real TV.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
TVs, cameras, everything. Whole 9 yards.
TV still, Drew, real TV still exists. Like 97% of TVs on apps now, but 3%, the good stuff, is still on over the air.
Yeah, right? I still watch most of us on YouTube TV on my app on my phone, but it is on TV.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I thought maybe it was just Scott had like a little desk in his living room, and a little cardboard desk, and played.
How cool would that be, Scott? How cool would it be if you didn't
honestly
have to go
that sounds so much nicer. There's no stress. That's just that's great.
All right,
I'll do that.
We'll work on that for you, Scott.
Yeah. Plus, I can leave. I can work with Finley. Yep. She's not allowed in the building. So
Scott Grodsky from CBS 58 and WMLW. Scott, thanks so much for jumping on today. We'll talk to you soon.
Anytime.
See you, buddy.
See you.
All right, that's Scott Grodsky. Watch him tonight on CBS 58 and on WMLW with CBS 58. And he joins us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all.